This game could be called Sasquatch Climbing Lines and Blocks, but it's not. This is Donkey Kong Jr. on the Atari 2600. And no amount of wood-grained goodness on the front of your Atari VCS will make this game anywhere near as good as the 1982 Nintendo arcade classic, or most of the other versions of Donkey Kong Jr., like the Atari 7800 version and the version on the ColecoVision. But in all fairness, if you never played Donkey Kong Jr., had never heard of it, and somebody told you that this game was called Sasquatch Climbing Lines and Blocks, it's not that bad. Actually, the controls are fairly responsive for a 2600 game like this. And it retains about 50% of the fun and enjoyment of Donkey Kong Jr., on the 7800 at least. Which still puts it ahead of a lot of games that were released in 1983 for the Atari 2600. You only get 3 out of the 4 levels in Donkey Kong Jr. here on the 2600 version, which is similar to the ColecoVision, except that you get the electrical level. And note that if Donkey Kong Jr.'s ass is facing the electrical thing, he will get electrocuted and killed, but if his knee is facing it, he survives. I tried to make logical sense out of that, and I couldn't. His knees must be made of rubber. What's interesting is that if you read the Donkey Kong Jr. cartridge, which is a Coleco cartridge made in the USA, it says Donkey Kong Jr. by Nintendo. Donkey Kong Jr. is a trademark of Nintendo of America Incorporated. Copyright 1982 Nintendo of America Incorporated. Package, program, and audio-visual. Copyright 1983 Coleco Industries Incorporated. Amsterdam, New York. 12010. Coleco made a number of games for the Atari 2600, and Atari made a number of games for the ColecoVision, which would be like Sony making games for the Xbox 360, Microsoft making games for the PlayStation 3, Nintendo making games for both of them, and the TurboGrafx 16 being re-released in a new gigantic robotic form and dominating the market. Keep your fingers crossed for that one and hope that a Donkey Kong Jr. cartridge will be released for the new TurboGrafx 16 mechanized death machine. But moving along, if you want to play Donkey Kong Jr. on an Atari, watch my review of Donkey Kong Jr. for the Atari 7800, because that's an excellent version. And the ColecoVision version is also acceptable. The Atari 2600 version is an interesting look at how they made Donkey Kong Jr. work on the much less powerful Atari 2600. It's not that bad of a game, it's just not up to par with the other ones. I mean, it's not Donkey Kong Jr.'s fault. They could have tried to bring Bonk's Adventure over to the Atari 2600, and that probably wouldn't have worked very well either. Seriously.